What's going on, y'all? Joshua here. And before I get on to today's ride, I want to share something with y'all. Please, I implore you, if you have a crash in which you suffer a head strike where you black out even momentarily or experience things like a headache or fogginess afterwards that extend beyond 24 hours from the crash, please go seek medical attention for an evaluation. Today is day 11 after suffering a concussion on chasers. And yeah, it was very significant, y'all. I took a bad line into one of the berms. It was a right-hander, and as I was coming to the exit, I drifted high. The front wheel crested the berm, causing me to slam all the way down to the trail bed. And those berms are very tall. If you've never seen them in person, cameras just don't do them justice. They are extremely tall. Well, going back, looking at Strava and evaluating the speed, I was doing approximately 18 to 20 miles per hour upon exit. And when I slammed down, I hit the right side of my head straight onto the ground, and I was blacked out momentarily. I could not remember the crash for upwards of 12 hours. It was approximately 12 hours before I began to regain memory enough to recall what even transpired. Like, I was foggy the next day. This happened on a Sunday, and I had to take Monday off. It was that bad. From there, I had basic fogginess, the usual concussion stuff, and headache that persisted. The fogginess started subsiding 7 to 8 days afterwards, something like that. And then the headache, today is really the first day it's been at its lowest point, and I haven't required any of that pharma-dope ibuprofen to get through the day. Yeah, that one was very significant. Very concerning thing about when the crash transpired is that it was also later in the day, and I'll tell more about the story here shortly, but it was also later in the day. So the area of chasers I was at, there's probably no, like, well, I'll say very slim chance anybody would have been coming through at that time of day. So had the crash been any more significant, Mildred might have been licking my face all night long while I got mauled by bears or something. I don't know. She was with me for that ride. So I'm going to go ahead and start cruising down the hill and tell y'all precisely what happened. Okay. So on that weekend, it was supposed to be a pretty relaxing weekend. All I was going to do was recharge the air conditioning system in my work truck and have that good again, because it's been ages. And I just got the used motor installed and all that jazz, yada yada yada. Well, oh my gosh, the AC situation turned into a fiasco and ended up burning through a few cans unnecessarily of Freon and all the goods, you know. So I spent like four and a half hours trying to sort it on Saturday, something like that. Didn't get it right. Back to it on Sunday, and this is going to be very chill. Like, you can rip it down this hill. This is going to be very chill. It's my first ride back after a concussion, y'all, so I am taking it very easy. And I did not seek medical attention. So Sunday, I'm all frustrated, and I finally determined at the end of it all, after spending another 4 hours that day, that I have no clue. Inexplicably, the blend door cable, because this doesn't have an actuator motor like most newer vehicles, my 08 Colorado, it still has a cable actuated hot to cold blend door for the HVAC system. It had become dislodged from the little mounting clip that it inserts into. Well, when I found that out, I was like, oh my goodness. So anyway, I got AC going. It's late in the day. It's already, you know, 4:30, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for a ride. I'm just frustrated. And let me tell you about the words of Hoover from Pilot Debrief. If y'all have not seen that channel, it's an excellent channel, by the way. And another reason I just won't fly anymore. But anywho, in his words, I suffered from get there-itis. I just had to get there, had to get the ride done. It's late in the day. Hurry, 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 rush, rush, rush. You know, I was in such a hurry that I didn't even remember the camera. So the crash happened off camera, by the way. Well, got up to the trail, pedaled up, did a quick loop, didn't even regroup, just loop back around and sent it straight down Chasers. And I got to the revised berm where the new tabletop is, which I'll point out on another ride one of these days. But yeah, and I was just not in the right headspace to be going the speed I was going, and I intentionally didn't wear knee pads, telling myself if I only wear knee pads, I'll take it nice and easy. Be just a chill ride. Yeah, right. Y'all, I don't ride mountain bikes for chill rides. I genuinely ride them to push myself. Like this rock garden right here. It's so freaking brilliant. But yeah, got into that berm. Horrible line. Front wheel went over. That was all she wrote. I mean, that was probably one of the worst crashes I've ever suffered. I needed to bump one more gear so I could get better pump pedal through there. But no joke, that one got me, y'all. And it's also caused me to reevaluate the style of helmet I'll be wearing from now on. So the crash happened, of course, in my Super Air R from Bell. I had had one solid OTB in the past, and the helmet, it was a forward strike, a frontal strike, and I mean, it performed flawlessly. I was actually quite impressed with it, but that was until this most recent crash, in which my Nugget slammed the right side where there is absolutely no padding. This is, to me, a serious concern, y'all, because it is the entire reason my right temple had been tender and sore and quite painful for the past 11 days. Because really, today is the first day it's even remotely lightened up. And once I get home, I'm actually going to do a little sit down that'll be included at the end of this video on why I will only wear certain helmets, certain style helmets anymore. And they are much more dirt bike style versus the half nugget. It will always be a full face from now on, plain and simple. But the main thing is to have the temple protection on the sides. I'm telling y'all, to me, this is a very serious concern. So please do stay tuned if you made it this far, so I can show you all the bell and this Fox Rampage and the difference in material choice on the inside for protection and general comfort, and why I have serious concerns about a lot of helmets now. Again, namely from a side impact. The particular helmet I'm wearing currently, I have actually gone down on the right side. That happened at McDonald Hollow when I was out on a ride with Todd years ago. And it was fairly significant. I saw stars. But yo, no joke, it was not nearly as bad as what I just experienced 11 days ago. So please, again, stay tuned. This, to me, is a very big issue, especially for those of us who pursue this activity to be the absolute best we can, the fastest we can. Whether or not we're the fastest competitively with others, we enjoy pushing ourselves to the limit, testing our capacities that help strengthen our focus and concentration, which bodes really well for other activities in life. But anyway, all right, please, again, stay tuned. I'll return.
Well, y'all, due to IRL stuff, I wasn't able to get to this portion of the video in a timely fashion as I'd hoped, but I'm grateful now to have the opportunity to sit down and discuss what I feel is a major safety concern. And I'm just going to straight say it right now. I cannot recommend the Bell Super Air R. And that is strictly from a protection standpoint. So of course, as I was discussing in the ride video, I did suffer a concussion. It's day 13 now, I believe. And I have to attribute it to the design of the Bell Super Air R. Now, I genuinely liked the feel of the helmet, and I even experienced an OTB in it where it actually has a mark right here in the front, and the helmet did a stellar job with protecting me during that crash. But here recently, I experienced the crash where my head slammed into the ground, right into the trail bed, just like this on the right side, causing immense pain right here in the temple region. And there is a big reason why that occurred. That is because this helmet does not have any padding at the spots where it meets the temple. So right in here on both sides, there's legit no padding. If you have an unfortunate incident like I did, and you slam your head into the side, which I'll bring the camera in closer here shortly. But right here, the padding stops that comes around the forehead, that little band. Yeah, it stops abruptly right here. And basically, the only thing that is between the ground and your temple is the hard styrofoam and the plastic outer shell. You might as well be hitting your head on the ground. I am being very serious about that. This is inadequate protection. Okay? And even with the chin bar installed, you don't get any protection. I mean, this is just a little bit of lining for the jaw. This is where you need the temple protection. So let me demonstrate real quick. So right here, again, the temple is one of the most vulnerable places on the skull. And this helmet is literally just styrofoam and plastic shell. So when it hits right there, oh, you again might as well be slamming your head into the ground. And that is why I am going back to a more traditional style helmet from here on out, as such with the Rampage. Of course, I've already decided to go back to a full face. I went to the Super Air R because I wanted to be able to get in a bit longer rides with a lighter helmet and not sweat. But at this point, no way. Not even going to take any chances again. So this Fox Rampage helmet, which is more traditional, see right in here, okay, you have padding between that and then the styrofoam and outer shell. And you know, I was watching the UCI Enduro highlights from day one today out at Val di Fassa, and yeah, I mean, all the Enduro riders are in proper full face helmets that have temple protection. Like, how did Bell miss this? I mean, I've always, admired Bell products. I've always used them for motorcycling. My motorcycle helmet right now is a Bell qualifier. I've trusted their products. But after having that crash and not having any protection on the temples, let me tell y'all, for real, it was 11 days my right temple was throbbing for real. And even after that ride, it got sore again. Now, it wasn't enough to incapacitate me or anything or make me, have a migraine or what have you, but it was very significant. This, I'm just going to say it, that's a dangerous helmet because there's no padding. And quite frankly, again, the padding needs to go all the way around. Plain and simple, I'm done with this little flimsy padding stuff in here. No, that's not adequate, at least for the style of riding I choose to pursue. Now, if you don't want to go ultra fast, want to do XC stuff, then yeah, maybe that helmet's for you. But as for me, no, I need a more traditional like helmet. Quite frankly, this is pitiful by any standards, and this is a super expensive helmet when purchased brand new. This is garbage. I literally felt like I slammed my head on the ground, y'all. That's rubbish. That's not good design. And now, I was actually talking with my buddy Grayson, who y'all have seen in the past some time ago in some videos. And I'm kind of along the lines of his same thinking, and that if it doesn't have the Virginia Tech standard on it, then it's just not worth purchasing. Now, I do believe that we're at a stage of helmet development that they can do something far and away better than this, but it doesn't necessarily have to be as heavy as this, okay? However, having legitimately slammed my head down on the right in this helmet in a very similar fashion as to what occurred in the Super Air R. That ride happened with Todd some years ago. And the only thing that happened to this, I saw some stars. Finished the ride up. That right there, I'm telling y'all, I really should have sought a medical evaluation after that. I'm kind of mad at myself, y'all, that I didn't go and get checked out. That I was like, I know my body. I can straight up tell you right now, right after the incident, and at least for the first couple of hours, I would have failed concussion. Well, I won't say first couple of hours, but in that first 30 minutes, I would have failed concussion questions. There's no doubt about it. Immediately after the incident, I hands down would have failed concussion questions. That's bad. And I didn't go get looked at. So please, again, I do implore y'all, if you ever have an incident in which your nugget smacks the ground and you black out even for an instant and you're foggy when you get up, if you even black out for an instant, I don't care if you're not even foggy, don't even have a headache moment in that moment, please go get looked at. I seriously took a chance by not getting a medical evaluation by professionals. That was actually, the broken wrist, the broken leg, even the hyperflexion whiplash injury. And my brother in the faith, David, remembers that one. It happened on Snapper DH. Even those injuries, they didn't spook me like this one, y'all. Because it was a proper few days before I finally started getting my wits about me. I truly should have had medical professionals run a battery of tests to ensure I was going to be all right. I mean, right now it still makes me wonder if there's something lingering and I just think I'm okay and it's the calm before the storm. And then all of a sudden, a brain bleed that's been up there since the incident, all of a sudden, I'm just no longer here. Like, those things are very real. And that's why I have to stress, please get looked at if you ever have an incident on that level. And also, man, for y'all young bucks out there who are shredding, really genuinely take into consideration your choice of helmet. Again, I don't necessarily think you always need to ride in something as heavy duty as the Fox Rampage. Now, it's great for bike park days where there's truly some crazy things that could go awry, and this level of grade of helmet is necessary. But I do believe there could be more pedal trail friendly helmets that are full face that offer that protection. I'm telling you, this is rubbish. It's not good. You know what? I'm not even going to move the camera. I'm just going to stand up from the couch. I'm going to walk the helmet over to y'all and show y'all what I'm talking about. Man, this is pitiful. I genuinely can't understand how a helmet manufacturer with Bell's reputation missed this. Again, I will straight up say this helmet performed exceedingly well when I hit the front of my nugget, right? Like, it did a stellar job. But that side hit, nah, man, that's not good. So check it out. Okay, let me make sure I can get the camera to focus. But basically, I'll come to this side because here's the sticker. The padding is this little nothing. it ends right here, but your whole temple is up against all of this, right? Where all this sticker is. This is literally just the styrofoam and then the outer shell. There is no padding here. That is a serious problem, y'all. I cannot, in good faith, recommend the Bell Super Air R. And again, to me, I find it kind of tragic because I personally like the aesthetics of it, you know. And after that first incident in which I struck the front of my Nugget, like, it did great. But then to find out by the School of Hard Knocks that temple area protection is nothing. I mean, it's nothing, y'all. There's nothing there. My temple will tell you all about it. I'll tell you, that spooked me for a helmet like this. I'm not gonna ride with anything less than a proper full face that has the side padding. Just not even gonna do it anymore. This one has nice thick cushioning padding right here. Now, this one is a bit older. It's taken a few knocks. It needs to be retired. I really do need to invest in a new one. And I'm just, going through the gamut of review research right now and seeing what others' impressions are, because I'm still at a point where we should have helmets that are full face that can be pedaled in for no more than $150, $200 for the average rider. They're $250, $300. You're starting to do some pride pricing, especially if you don't have a Virginia Tech stamp of approval on it. So you need to go on about your merry ways with your crazy pricing. For us regular average folks that do pursue mountain biking, to be the best we absolutely can be, the fastest that we can be, we just need adequate protection. And I firmly believe $150 to $200 is fine for a helmet that could take a strike and you got to replace it, every couple of years. Because you took that bad line and you had get there-itis like I did, For me, yes, I push myself on a mountain bike. I'm not out there to go slow, y'all. I do that on my Hayabusa. And that's why I'm grateful I have the mountain bike, because, it allows me to not do silly things on sport bikes. Mountain biking has provided me that opportunity to just get out and push myself to my limits. And it comes with cost. Like I said, hyperflexion whiplash. Wrist detonated to the point where the ortho doctor said that he'd never seen a certain bone broke in a wrist before under that type of stress. The textbook tibia fracture that was just absolutely easy to deal with. But there's no reason why a helmet should not offer better protection. So I will be reaching out to Bell. So maybe stay tuned for an update if I hear back from them after I voice my concerns in regards to the design of this helmet. I again don't believe it's an adequate design for those of us who want somewhat of that full face protection, but in a lighter package. Obviously, pedaling here, at least in Blacksburg, it's 700-800 feet to the top of the hill, just about straight up, and then it's rip it back down and then pedal back up. So it's more straight up-ish, straight down-ish on these hills. So it's not necessarily conducive for more DH appropriate helmet, you definitely will sweat. But on that same accord, because it is more straight up the hill, I can strap this on my backpack and just cruise up the hill, or throw it on the handlebar, cruise up the hill, throw it on at the top, rip back down, do the same thing. There is that option. I have done that before. But at the same time, it's just one of those things where it is nice to just be able to put on a helmet and ride throughout the ride and not have any worries. So I'm going to keep on researching options available out there that offer more formidable protection in a lighter package. Again, I'll be looking towards organizations that have gone through the scrutiny of the University of Virginia Tech's tests. They're a leading organization when it comes to the development of helmets and their overall safety. So if you're not familiar with that, do look up Virginia Tech's helmet lab and a lot of the studies they do. It's quite impressive, and you will learn a good deal about helmets, which I should have taken into consideration. But, I'd seen some good reviews about the Bell. I do genuinely like the modular concept. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I've rode modular helmets in the past on my motorcycle. Don't think anything's wrong with it. As a matter of fact, it was the Bell Revolver that I rode with in the past. Phenomenal helmet. But here again, this one shortcoming, literally, I have got to give this a 1-star helmet. And it only gets 1 star because it's aesthetically appealing. From a safety standpoint, I cannot recommend this helmet after my School of Hard Knock lesson learned. Okay, y'all? Just protect yourself. Make sure you have an adequate helmet. Especially, again, if you're pursuing this, at the higher extremes, when you're pushing yourself to your ultimate limits, where you're jeopardizing life-altering crashes, please make sure you're protected. And again, if you hit your head on the ground to the point where you have a momentary blackout, go seek help and make sure you get checked out. I don't want any of y'all to get hurt beyond repair. Please don't take a chance like I did. Please. I know I'm nobody. And again, I'm not trying to bash Bell products, y'all. Not in the least. I just think this is a poorly designed helmet. I think their engineers could put something better together. Again, I'm going to submit my own experience with this helmet to them to see what their thoughts are. Hopefully they'll send a response other than some other corporate generated mumbo jumbo nonsense. It'll probably be that AI garbage nowadays, unfortunately. I'm sure customer service reps have gone AI and it'll just be some ho-hum mundane response. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we'll look into that. Blah, blah, blah. Basically just something to brush me off with. But, again, I've been a Bell fan for years. So I really do hope they take my concern genuinely. Because I don't want anybody else out there with this helmet. I don't. Not in this configuration. It is not safe. Your temples are two of the weakest spots on your whole head, man. They should be one of the more primary focus. Obviously, occipital region down here at the base of the occipital bone. It's critical spots. That's why they do make race collars, which I do actually have a race collar. I should probably wear it on certain rides. But yeah, this is also a very bad spot. But more often than not, these will get struck first before anything necessarily is impacted back here or what have you. And so the whole head needs to be protected. I mean, that's just the end all. But by golly, Bill, this is not good, man. Not even better than not good. It's like, it's awful. I would not have expected an organization that's been around for as long as they have to produce something like that. This is my standard from now on. I will never take a chance again, y'all. Not on that level. Again, I have been down in both of these helmets. Both right side of the head strikes to the trail bed. Just some stars. Full on concussion. Had to take Monday off from work. And was foggy for a good full 48 hours after the incident. Headache lasted 11 days. Please, make sure you have the proper protection for your level of riding. That was a scary one, y'all. I'm not even joking about that. When I had gotten home that evening, because of course it was later, 6-ish, sometime after 6. Very fortunate. My neighbors here and my neighbors across the street were out. And I do not remember the conversations other than to tell them that I suffered a concussion to please check on me the next day if you don't see my door open. Because it's very common. The only reason the door's shut right now is because I have it closed off to reduce the amount of noises in the background. But yeah, my door's always open. And they were genuinely concerned. They could tell I was not in my right frame of mind. Y'all, right now, I can envision the crash. Right, I remember that. I remember the wheel going over the top. I remembered the blackout moment. And I remember coming to after and trying to get my wits about me. I remember seeing Kissy Face right there. I vaguely remember walking back up. This is still to this point. I vaguely remember walking back up Chasers because I wasn't riding. Vaguely remember going down Running Cedar, walking back to the truck the whole way. And I straight up don't remember the drive home, y'all. I'm sorry to admit that. I'm sorry because in that condition, I had no business driving. And looking back, had anything been worse, I was jeopardizing others' lives. Had I lost consciousness due to the severity of the injury and lost control of my vehicle, I could have potentially put others at risk. And for that, I am sorry, y'all. Please, don't risk it for the biscuit, y'all. Protect your nugget, and if you do have a blackout moment, seek help. All I can do is give glory to the Lord in the mighty name of Jesus the Christ, that I got home safely, and that no other travelers were affected by my poor choice that day. And as scary as that concussion was, looking back at the choice I made to drive in that condition, it's terrifying, and I promise you I'll never do it again, y'all. If something like that does occur, I promise you, I will never put y'all in harm's way like that again. I will promptly call, as possible, if possible, depending on my conditions, I will call for medical help and be properly evaluated. So again, I apologize to y'all for that. Please make sure you have the proper protection to the best of your ability. And that if you ever experience a moment like that, seek help. I didn't intend on this video dragging out that long, but this one really hit close to home, y'all. I mean, also being late in the day, not knowing if another rider or even hiker would have came by. And I could have been truly knocked out and unconscious, or, disoriented and not know my way out of there. I really, truly don't know what could have happened that evening. So I could sit there and go over all the what ifs and what ifs. All I know and all I can say is thank the Lord I made it home safely, and that all other travelers on the highways and the roadways that day were safe, at least as I passed them. Because I really shouldn't have been out there, y'all. I should have been evaluated. I'm a failure, y'all. I'm sorry. But I just want to say thank you for everybody's support. Definitely had some friends reach out and asked how I'm getting along after this incident. Of course, they read what I'd posted on Strava about that day. So I'm very grateful for the neighbors I have that were adamant to ensure my well-being, over the next day. My one neighbor specifically saying if she didn't see Mildred outside, she was coming to bust my door open. So, excuse me, sorry. Yeah, that's a crazy trip, y'all. And I really don't want any of y'all to ever go down that road and experience that. So please make sure you purchase the correct helmet for your level of riding. If you pursue it aggressively like I do, you need more than this. These little trail helmets, don't even bother with them. Get a proper enduro helmet. Now, there should be plenty on the market, and maybe that'll be another type of video I'll do, is what I have found in my research and what I think might be a suitable helmet for my needs. Maybe I'll do a video on, the different manufacturers and their models they offer that I think would be most suitable. We'll see. Of course, I have a lot of IRL going on in my life right now, especially on the work side of things. So even the whole MTB channel might have to take a backseat to what's going on here in the near future, and a transition that is on the horizon. But yeah, this one's a big one, y'all. Please protect yourselves out there, and definitely seek medical attention when you've had a serious head impact. You just never know, y'all. Again, I give glory to the Lord. And as I had heard in an old movie, I think it was called Do You Believe?, where one of the old main characters in the story had said to his wife, well, how'd he put it? He said, until the Lord comes a-calling, ain't nothing gonna take me. And when he does come a calling, ain't nothing gonna keep me. So I'm just gonna give all glory and praise to all y'all, my Lord, in the mighty name of Yehoshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, that I'm here to share my experience with the Bell Super AR and just say, unfortunately, I cannot recommend that helmet. So stay tuned. Maybe there'll be an update from Bell Corporate regarding my experience with their helmet. Who knows? If not, I'm just going more proper full face. End of story. Not even buggering around, y'all. Thanks for tagging along so much. It means so much to me, y'all. I'm very grateful for all of y'all, the support, the love, the reaching out, all of it. Thank you. Toda. Toda Rabba. Thank you.